Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I got mine. This is the last of my Sailor's Brew Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee. I have enjoyed this coffee, but never fear. I have 3 more containers of coffee that someone else sent to me, and so we'll finally be able to get started on that, and I can fall in love with that brew too. Anyway, before I get started, there are a couple people that I need to say thank you to. I need to say thank you so much to Claudette. Girl, thank you so much. Very appreciated for the library pantry. I was just out there refilling it not too long ago. I saw my kids walking past, and so like I said, I will keep it going for as long as I can, my dear heart. Thank you so much for caring. And I want to say thank you so much to Karen. Karen, thank you so much. If you don't mind, I'm also going to use yours for the library pantry as well. I just want to get as much stock in as I possibly can. Speaking of which, we just got in a lot of stock the other day. I was able to get, Trina, I was able to get the Pringles. These are what I was talking about when I was saying the snack size Pringles. This is what I meant. They like these cups. So they take those pretty good too. And we were down to 1. And then by the time I put them out, we didn't have any. So the kids are really fond of those. And honey buns. You know, I recently got a big old box of honey buns. Those are going really fast, along with the orange juice. So the kids have, you know, and we got Pop-Tarts in. So I'm able to woosah for a little while, you know, because I really do just want the kids to have something. You know, they look forward to it in the morning. They depend on it in the morning. And I don't know how I'm ever going to be able to let that go. But for right now, I don't. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much. Something I want to address real quick. My P.O. box, I've had people say that I don't know what's going on your end of it. But on my P.O. box, I can only give you the information that the post office gave to me. And that is, you know, the handle I go by, the Woke Gardener. And my P.O. box is P.O. Box 3055. And that is Columbia, South Carolina, 29203. This is really like the last time I want to address this because I just hate repeating myself. I do. I hate repeating myself. And I know that, like I said, I don't know what's going on your end, if someone may have transposed those numbers or what's going on. But all I can tell you is that I get mail and packages just fine. Just fine. Both mail and packages, just fine. And if you feel like whatever the post office is telling you on your end, I don't even know why they're even telling you anything on your end. Why you're not just putting the address on it and just sending it off, I don't know. Why there's some sort of debate happening at the post office, but nevertheless, that is my post office box. And if at any time, excuse me, you feel you don't feel secure about sending it because of whatever is being told to you, my advice to you is just don't send it. I'm okay with that. I accept that. I'm fine with that. So I would prefer not to have this conversation again if that's okay. So I just wanted to clear that up for anyone who might still be confused. Sometimes I address it in the comments. Sometimes I don't, because it's over and over and over and over and over. And if you've noticed, I've not changed my P.O. box, and I am still showing things that are being sent on my P.O. box. So obviously, I am getting things at that P.O. box. So, you know. Anyway, listen. Over in the room, we were talking about that 5-year-old autistic child. And I put up the GoFundMe information for him because their branch of the NAACP started a GoFundMe. Well, racists did what racists do, and they got the GoFundMe removed. Now, I'm thinking because of the nature of the GoFundMe that there's a strong probability that it'll be put back up. I wish they had went to Give, See, and Go, like that racist white woman did, and like Carmelo Anthony did, because they don't take down GoFundMes. They say we are Switzerland, we are neutral. We don't take down GoFundMes, fundraising campaigns rather. And so I wish they had gone that route, but they got the campaign taken down. Meanwhile, this woman, her goal, this racist woman who attacked this child, her new goal is $1 million because she has hit her $500,000 mark, I believe. First, it was just, I think, like 50,000. Then it was 100,000. The more money she gets, the higher she raises her goal. And like I said, they are hailing her as their queen, all the racists, you know, here in America who have extra money to give to this woman for verbally assaulting and racially terrorizing a 5-year-old autistic child. Now, I'm going on the playground of all places. Our children are not safe. And that was why I told my community, I said to y'all months ago, and more than once, I did repeat that, that it's getting dangerous out here, and you have to make sure that you are with your children. Now, another person stepped in and defended this child, but I'm going to play devil's advocate and say, where were the parents? Because this is a 5-year-old, you know what I'm saying? This isn't like a 15-year-old or 16-year-old. This is a 5-year-old autistic child. Where were the parents? Where was the nanny? Where was the caretaker? Where was the person who was responsible for that child? I still don't have that answer. And if you have that answer, by all means, let me know down in the comments. I'm not trying to be a dick here. I'm just like, I think it's a reasonable question. I do. I think it's a fair question. There weren't too many places that my children went without me at that age. And the world is just so unsafe. And right now we are really in perilous times because racism really is upticking. And people like her, you know, these types of cowards, they pick low-hanging fruit on the tree. You know, women and children. Children, especially with white women, when they see children unsupervised and unmonitored, remember, you know, and I'm going to take it back to history again. These are the white women who had to have a law passed to protect them from consequences, the consequences of beating enslaved children to death. Some of whom they beat to death because they look too much like their husbands, and then others just because they existed or displeased them in some way. Laws had to be passed. Remember, I told you 48% of white women owned slaves of their own. They exist. They raise the racist. They breed with the racist. Don't think that because they are feminine, they present feminine, that they can't be monsters too. Racism continues to be perpetuated because so many white women are racist. And they have been hiding themselves very well until Trump emboldened them and sent out all those racist dog whistles. And now they are just out roaming around looking for victims, and 5-year-old black autistic children are fair game for them. And then racists will reward them. And like I said in another video, I fear that this will embolden more. Because all they have to do is then do the thing that they are so good at, turning it inward and making themselves the victim. And then collect a whole bunch of money for racially terrorizing a child that doesn't even understand any of this shit. I don't know what we can do to get that campaign put, back up on GoFundMe, because we were raising money pretty good. We were headed to about $200,000, and that was just a couple days. But we have to do something for this child, because I believe that this child deserves some sort of therapy behind this incident, because these are the incidents that shape us, especially when we are that young and that vulnerable. They shape who we are. And I think that he deserves some justice in that respect. Speaking of which, do y'all know who Rodney Hinton Jr. is? If you don't know who Rodney Hinton Jr. is, Rodney Hinton Jr. is a Cincinnati man who killed a deputy because they killed his son. Now, what the police are saying that the story was is that there are four young men, shall we say. His son was 18. That was the one who was killed by police. And they're saying that they were in a stolen vehicle, and that when the police started to catch up with them, they all bailed from the video. And they all ran their own way. And I guess his son they narrowed in on him. And they said that he had a gun when he came in between where he was hiding the two dumpsters, and that he was pointing it at police. Now, mind you, police have no video footage of this. There's no footage of this. And they're saying that the reason why you can't see where the dude had the gun, is because the officer was running and it was so janky. Now, let me tell you the problem that I have with that. Is, first of all, these camcorders they're built for that. I wear a body cam, by the way, and my body cam has never given me any distorted footage like that. Now, mind you, I don't run nowhere. I mean, I will give you that. But those body cams, they're pretty stable. And I would imagine the ones that are being worn by police officers are even more stable. Mine only cost $50, somewhere around that. And it's a lot smaller, and it's not on as nearly as, it's not centered and strapped to the middle of my chest. It's not as secure. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I find it hard to believe. And you mean to tell me that there was no image with him holding this gun? No image? And we know how the police lie. And you just hear them say, gun, gun, gun. And then you hear them with the quintessential phrase, I fear for my life, comes later on. And I got to tell you, I looked at that footage several times, and I don't think that that was his gun. And I kind of believe the parents. I really do. I don't think that this 18-year-old pointed a gun at the cop. I just don't think that he did. And they don't seem to be able to prove that he did. He was running when he was shot. Clearly, he was running, because that's what the body cam shows. Anyway, no matter what you believe, this father was so hurt. He saw a cop, and he killed him, took his vehicle, ran into him, and he killed him. And when I think about how I feel about that, I don't know. I don't feel a way about it. And let me tell you why I don't. I don't feel a way about it because there's a Luigi in all of us, And you get so tired of dealing with this shit as a black person. You get so fucking sick and tired of it. The constant worry you have for your sons being out there in the world. I have 2 kids. They're both boys. And the constant worrying that you do for them just because they are black. And it's just all so unfair, you know? And these cops, we have seen on these videos time and time and time again, where these cops kill black people just because they having a bad day, a moment, or they got angry. And they kill them and they walk away with it. They get away with it. Some haven't, but most do. Especially if we're speaking historically. And as a parent, I just see how he got there. And then when he was arraigned and somehow there are not enough police officers to stop robberies, to stop murders from happening, to stop mass shootings, to stop sexual assaults, domestic violence assaults. But there was enough police officers to be in that courtroom at that moment in time to try to intimidate that man. And I got to tell you, and maybe it's petty, but my respect goes out to Rodney for dead ass looking them in their eyes and grimming them and being on that eye for an eye energy. They took one of his and he took one of theirs. And clearly he was ready to spend the rest of his life in prison for it. Because we know what that's what's going to happen there. Tell me how you feel about it down in the comments. With all that said, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. I love y'all for real. Take care of each other. Remember, these racist incidents, they are picking up. Be careful out there, y'all. It's not that they're coming for us. They are coming for us. They didn't came, they here. Okay? And protect yourself. And it's okay to walk away from them, their violence. Like I said in yesterday's video, it's okay not to extend help. You are not required to help them. You are not required to put yourself or your body on the line. You are not required to engage them. And let me say this too. When they question you like you some kind of slave, you're not required to answer them. You're not required to answer them whether or not you live here, you live there, or what are you doing here, or what are you doing there. They're trying to go back to that. You can't just ignore them motherfuckers. You can. My ability to mind myself, mind my own business is unmatched. Unmatched. To the degree where it upsets other people. I don't feel like I have to answer. I'm a grown person. And I will not be questioned like a child by anyone. And y'all need to be on that same energy. Because fuck them. Who the fuck are they to question you about shit? Nobody had a little fan snack food picked up from the wrong side. But listen, real talk, listen. There ain't nobody to question you. You ain't got to answer them. They ain't your mama, they ain't your daddy, and they ain't your fucking owner. Have a good day. If you would like to donate to the platform, I would certainly appreciate it. I will leave my Cash App and my Venmo down in the comments. Have a good one.